Hi, Dr. Bob Flower, and this is Tuesday, September 11th, 2013, Master Pattern Report. Well, first I figured I'd do a video today just to give homage to the 9/11 catastrophe, disaster, event, whatever you want to call it. Something that we should all be aware of and concerned relative to the type of people that live in the world and the difference between Americans and the free world and the not so free world. And this does have to do with the stock market economics, so let me just say for a few moments here. The way people think and believe has everything to do with movements of economics and personal success. I've learned that throughout the years, and there's no doubt about it. The picture that's painted in one's mind of how things work, or how things should work, or how to work things is critical to the success for individuals, for companies, for countries, for the stock market, for what have you. And by following that premise, I think we've been very, very successful over the past 7 years, 6 years, 6.5 years. And we continue. Our last calls were, again, right on target, and nobody should be surprised about that. But it is important to understand that what we do as individuals and as a group to foster a belief and to maintain it is vital. And right now, I feel, as do a number of my colleagues, that I'm on the deck of the Titanic, right? And that we just hit the iceberg, and well, we're still floating, and we're not taking on water yet, or to any great degree. The end is inevitable. And people may say, "Oh, Flower, there you go again with that negative talk." And I'll tell you again and again and again that forewarned is forearmed. Okay, so that's let's leave it at that, and you go about your happy days, and without responding to the way things are going, the way things are running, and not change. Those are the type of people that suffer consequences. Okay, so with that, let's talk about making some money. Let's talk about the stock market. Okay, let's talk about the Master Pattern. What is the Master Pattern show for this week? Well, actually, tomorrow we're expecting moves in silver and gold and the market, the Dow. We are looking for some up moves here to sort of break this spell. We think that by the end of the month, this may go on back and forth for another couple of weeks, but we're looking at a better end of the year, as we have said all along from the beginning of the year. Whether it comes within the next 2 weeks or 4 weeks, we can't predict, but we are saying that it's going to happen. So, and oil, we're looking at oil for next week, the 18th. We're looking for a big move in oil, and don't be surprised if that move is a big move down. Okay, right now the indicators are that that's where we're headed, into a down move, but I'll try and get back to you before that, so that we can make a more clearer picture of where we think the oil is headed. Now, insofar as the gold and silver is concerned, we think we've turned the corner here, and there's at least one major player in the metals from the other side of the world that's putting it back in play again. All right, so this may well be a base from which our gold and silver will take off. Um, we do think that there's going to be more disturbance, there's going to be more attacks worldwide, and especially on American and free interests, which is relative to my opening statement, and that that in itself will move things such as the metals and play havoc with the oil. Although it may well be that this next move may not come within the Middle East, may come from the Middle East, but it may, but not necessarily in the Middle East. We're thinking that that it's going to come conceivably from Africa or from the Far East. Okay, so we have to be mindful of that. Watch for what's happening there. These other stocks, these other foreign stocks such as Turkey and whatnot, we're seeing some manipulation there, so we're out of the ELFs there. As far as the stocks themselves are concerned, we still like the CSX. It's starting to move towards newer highs here. It just recently penetrated 26, and we have a significant investment there. And of course, our little standby here, Wendy's is up around 8.20, and again, we're looking at about $13 on that stock. So it's not too late. We have a significant holding there, and we intend to hold it through the end of the year, as with CSX. There are a couple of others that I'm going to give to you next week. We had mentioned them several months ago, but we didn't feel as strongly about them as we do right now. But given the way CSX is performing, and Wendy's, we're very happy with that, and we suggest that you keep your powder dry and get in there. Watch the silver. We think I'd like to see it make its move before I do anything further, but I think this is a good base to operate from. Okay? All right, so we're going to be back to you next week, and we're going to talk a little bit about the oil, and we're going to talk about economic danger spots, and what to look for with something coming up in the real estate mortgage arena very, very soon. I think you're going to have some great interest in what I have to say about that. Okay, so have a great week, and we'll see you next week. Thanks.